Hello everyone, if you are new, my name is Marin. Welcome to another reading vlog. This is going to be my vlog for the second week of July, which I believe works out to vlog number 6, possibly. All of the previous vlogs are going to be linked down below if you would like to see what I've been up to this summer. Lots of reading, very little of anything else. Anyway, let's go ahead and chat about what I am going to start off reading in this week's vlog. Instead of giving you like the full TBR, I'm just going to talk about the first 2 books that I'm going to be working on. So the first one is this one right here, which is The Hero's Guide to Storming the Castle. This is by Christopher Healy. This is in his League of Princes series. This is book number 2. My goal is to have this finished this weekend. Today is Saturday, so Saturday and Sunday, and have this one done. I have not started this yet, so hopefully it will read pretty quickly. It looks like it's got a chapter from the next book, so let me see where this actually ends. 477, but it's got really good size print, good margins, and it's got illustrations. So I feel like I should be able to get through this in the next 2 days without any trouble and get this crossed off. I also have the third one back behind me, which I will not be reading this week, but I do want to get to this month. So this is the first one. This is what I'm going to start reading today. And then I am also still working on the audiobook of The Extraordinary Education of Nicholas Benedict by Trenton Stewart. This is the prequel to the Mysterious Benedict Society series. And I am almost done with this one. I am on page 367. So I have that little bit left. I'm listening to this on audio, although I did do a little bit of physical reading on this as well yesterday. So my goal is to have this done as well this weekend. So these are the 2 books that you're going to be hearing about to start off this vlog. But I have a whole stack of books right there that are my July TBR. Some of them are extras that I've added to it, but there's quite a lot to get to. I have quite the ambitious TBR for this week, so we'll cross our fingers that I can actually do that. But both of these books are on my July TBR. I spun the wheel and landed on prompts to fit these, so I will link that TBR up above. But yes, this is what we're going to start with, and that's about all I've got to say. I have a video to film that is supposed to go up tomorrow because I'm behind. If you did not watch last week's vlog, then you are not familiar with the fact that our power was out for like almost 3 days. So that kind of threw everything off. I've been trying to play catch up, but need to film that video so it can go up tomorrow. And then we will get reading on this. So I definitely want to get halfway through today. I feel like that's definitely doable. I'll work out the actual page number and put it right here at the bottom because math is not my strong suit. I need to use a calculator. But yes, gonna read this weekend. Gonna finish this weekend. I have some errands to run tomorrow. I've been holding off on like getting groceries and stuff because the power was out, so everything had to be thrown away. And then the power went out again this morning for a couple hours, not quite 2 hours, like an hour and a half, because a transformer blew like on the street behind us. So yeah, it's just been a wild ride here. Anyway, so enough of that. I'll talk to you later with a little reading update. I think I'll do 100 pages and come back and chat with you about how things are going. And that's how today's gonna run. So I'll chat with you later. Hello all, I'm back with a reading update. I have gotten to page 119, which is chapter 7, and it's actually the start of part 2. So let me talk a little bit about what this series even is. So this is the League of Princes series. This series follows 4 princes from fairy tales that we are all familiar with. So think of like the Prince Charming. So we have Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel, Cinderella, and Snow White. So those are the 4 like princesses, but we're not following the princesses, we're following the princes. So we have Prince Liam. That is Sleeping Beauty's prince. Prince Frederick, which is Cinderella's prince. Prince Duncan is Snow White's prince. And Prince Gustav is Rapunzel's prince. Now, they are like the most inept characters you will ever meet in your lives. So the amusing part is that this whole thing is called the Hero's Guide because they are heroes, but like not really, because they needed a lot of help in the first book to actually achieve their goal, which was to defeat like an evil witch. In this book, just in the first 100 pages, we are mostly following Liam, who is Sleeping Beauty's prince, but Sleeping Beauty / Briar Rose, she is not a nice person. She's actually quite maniacal and awful. And Liam is supposed to marry her because of like a deal that the two kingdoms made when Liam was 3 years old. And Liam does not want anything to do with Briar Rose, but circumstances have come together that have made him have to marry her. So that's kind of like a spoiler, but not really. So they are currently married. Liam is now trying to figure out, one, how to get out of that, and two, he's trying to figure out what Briar Rose is up to. So I think Briar Rose is going to be the main like villain in this story, and now I believe him and the other three princes, as well as Ella, Cinderella, and possibly Liam's sister Lila are going to set out to try to do something. So that's where we are. But yes, they are just absolutely ridiculous. The first book had me laughing out loud so many times. The second one already has like started off with a lot of action because Liam is kidnapped by Briar Rose to force him to marry her, and that's where we are. So that's 100 pages. So my goal is to get to half of the book, to get half the book read, which will be chapter, what is this? Chapter 15. Page 250. So that's a little bit more than half, but I wanted to like end it at definitive chapters. So my goal will be to get to page 250. As I've mentioned, I'm on page 119. That was the doorbell. Hold on, let me go see who's here. Okay, that was a delivery guy. So anyway, yes, that's where we are. That's the plan. I have been doing a couple of other things. So one, I had to edit the video that I filmed today that goes up tomorrow. Got that uploaded. I also got the vlog, the previous week's vlog, there we go, uploaded and edited. So they're both done. I still need to film a video that's going to go up on Tuesday, but I'm not going to do that today. We'll do that tomorrow and hope that the power doesn't randomly go out. But yes, that's where we are, 100 plus pages in, enjoying it. It is a good time. It's a fairly quick read. So hopefully I can get to that page 250 without any problems and finish this off tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll come back and chat with you anymore today. I'll probably save the update for tomorrow, and yeah, that's all I've got. So I think I'm going to take a break, watch a little bit of TV, YouTube, I don't know, something, and then read more of this later on tonight. So I will see you tomorrow with another update. Hello all, happy Sunday. So I am here with a reading update. I did read half of The Hero's Guide to Stormy in the Castle. So we are getting ready to head into like the actual storming of the castle, I believe, because we're halfway through and they've done a lot of like preparation. So let's chat a little bit about what's happened so far. So again, you have your princes, 4 princes. However, there's been some drama between Liam, who is Sleeping Beauty's prince, and Frederick, who is Cinderella's prince. Frederick is like afraid of everything, and so Liam's been trying to like train him up into like a real hero, if you will. And Liam has a crush on Cinderella, which seems to be mutual. Frederick, of course, is jealous about this, but Liam has been treating Frederick kind of terribly, like not letting Frederick give ideas, not letting him participate in conversations, really. So Liam, Frederick, and Cinderella had ridden off to attempt to find like a helper for their storming of the castle idea. And Liam was really mean to Frederick. So Frederick has ridden off on his own, I guess in an attempt to steal the sword back from the castle, which is not going to go well. None of these princes are actually like on top of things. They all are pretty inept. So it's not just that Frederick has ridden off on his own that's going to cause problems. I don't think this plan is going to work anyway, because that tends to be like what happens with these guys. But yes, we also have Snow White, who has joined the adventuring. Snow White is very flighty and silly and odd. We'll just call her odd. So I'm not really sure how much help she's going to be, but yes, they are getting ready to head off to storm the castle, but first they have to attend a ball that Briar Rose has set for her country or whatever. So that's where we are. Chapter 15 is called A Hero Has a Ball, meaning like an actual like dance ball, I would assume. So yes, on chapter 15, which means I have read half of it. Goodreads says I'm at 52%. Again, the last part of this has like 2 chapters from the 3rd book. So let's see how many chapters there actually are in this story. Well, there's like a little ending with like the villains. Yeah. So it's called 29 and a half. So I would assume there's 29 chapters. So yeah, we're going to finish this up today. I will come back and chat with you about my overall rating, overall feelings. It is very enjoyable. It's a good time. If you like middle grade, check out this series because it's definitely pretty funny. Yeah, and that's what we've got. So this is what I'm going to work on first. I also want to finish The Extraordinary Education of Nicholas Benedict. I have not listened to that yet today. I probably will read a little bit of that physically, maybe in between this, I don't know, but I'm going to try to get that one done as well. I do have laundry to put away, so I can put my headphones in and listen to the audio of that. But yes, it's just going to be a chill Sunday, y'all. I'm not going to get up to much of anything. The goal is just to finish this one and the other one, which is out in the living room. So I will chat with you later when I have a reading update. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do another 100 pages in this, come back and chat with you about it, and then that will leave about 100 pages left. So I have about 200 pages left of this, and yeah, hopefully the ending will be just as enjoyable as the first part. So I'll chat with you later when I have more to say.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind.
All right, y'all, I have read more than I initially said I would because I decided I wanted to get like 100 pages before the end. So I'm currently on chapter 24, page 382. I have this much left. It's less than 100 pages, but yes, we are definitely at the climax of the story. Our heroes, i.e. the princes, are in a bit of a pickle. Liam and Frederick in particular are stuck in a kind of tight spot. And there was a twist involving one of the characters. And actually there's like 2 twists. I'm still not quite sure what's going on exactly with Briar Rose. We're getting her point of view a little bit more than I was expecting. And yes, very curious to see where this is going and how it's going to end. Rapunzel has also made her way into the story. She is not on the cover, so she shows up. Oh, she showed up like a few chapters ago. I'm not really sure what role she's going to play here, but she is currently there as well. They are all at the castle, and as you saw, they have stormed the castle. But yes, definitely some things have gone wrong, as is the case with these princes, because nothing ever goes to plan. And yeah, we are heading towards the end. So I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. It's 4:49. I am going to finish this. Then I'm going to listen to more of The Extraordinary Education of Nicholas Benedict while I put away laundry. That one may not get done today. I may have to carry that one over into tomorrow, but I'm going to be doing like some errand running, some shopping and things like that tomorrow. So that will definitely get done tomorrow because I do listen to an audiobook while I am running errands. But yes, we're going to finish this one today and see what I think. And then I will be getting to the third book as well at some point this month. Maybe next week, I'm not really sure. I have a book that I have to pick up from the library, which is the new Riley Sager book. It is the July pick for the Literally Dead book club, so I want to make sure I read that in a timely fashion since I think I can only have it like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I can't quite remember. So the third book for this series is going to have to wait, but I am going to get to it this month. But yes, enjoying it, curious to see how it's going to all work out, come together, whatever you want to call it. And again, it's been a good time. So enjoying it, going to finish it later, and I will chat with you once that happens. Hello all, happy Monday. I'm here with a reading update. I have finished 2 books, yay. So I did finish reading The Hero's Guide to Storming the Castle last night. I'm giving it 4 stars. It was a romping good time. It ends on a cliffhanger, so it's definitely trying to encourage you to read the 3rd book in the series, which I am going to read later this month. I have some other things I need to read this week though, so stay tuned for that. That will come later this month. But I did really enjoy this, 4 stars. The princes once again get themselves into a bunch of trouble, but per the usual, they managed to get themselves out of it. Although they had quite a bit of help, it was nice to see like cameos from the various princesses, and I am very curious to see where this is going. So 4 stars for this one. This one is done. And then while I was doing some shopping today, I also finished The Extraordinary Education of Nicholas Benedict, which I'm also giving 4 stars. So I liked this prequel. I thought that it set up the character of Nicholas Benedict very well. I felt like he's 9 years old in this book, and I felt like that was portrayed pretty well considering that he's like a genius. There were some twists, some turns. There's a treasure hunt in here that goes a different way than you're expecting it to go, which I really appreciated, and I enjoyed it. And in even better news, this is now a series that is completely finished. So this was on my 10 series to read in 2023, and I have completed it. So hooray, 2 series down, 8 series to go, but hey, making progress. So this one is done. This one is done. So 2 books already finished in this week's vlog, so pretty exciting. Also, this is a series on my 10 series to read in 2023 as well, so this will also be done later this month, as I'd mentioned. But yes, 2 books down. This is 2 books that were actually on my July TBR, so yay, 3 left. And one of them we are going to start today, and it's this lovely large book right here, The Priory of the Orange Tree. Now, I am going to be taking Priory in chunks. So a couple people left comments saying that they read like 50 pages per day. One person read like 5 chapters per day. I don't know how that equates to like page numbers, but when I did the math, it works out to about 55 pages per day to be done in 2 weeks. So I will be starting this. My thought is that since it's such a large book, I'm not really going to talk to you about my thoughts until I get like a decent amount of pages read. So I'm thinking I'll come check in with you around the 200 page mark. I feel like that's like a quarter of the book. I think there's like about 800 pages. I can't really remember, but yes. So I'll come back and share thoughts once I've gotten like a decent amount in, because I don't feel like 50 pages is really going to be enough for me to really know how I'm feeling as of yet. This is a fantasy book, so I imagine there's going to have to be some world building, that kind of stuff. But yes, we're starting her today. This will not be done, obviously, at the end of this vlog, so you will have to come along on next week's vlog as well to see my full thoughts, because I'm thinking that's probably going to be how long it takes. Actually, maybe not even next week's. It might be the 3rd vlog, whatever. Just stay tuned. I will be giving my thoughts like throughout once I get farther into it, but I'm going to wait to give initial thoughts once I have read a decent amount of pages. So that was a very long, rambly way of saying I'm not going to talk to you about that book until probably Thursday or Friday this week. So that is what I'm going to start reading today. the goal was to finish this one, which I did do. And then I'm also thinking that I'm probably going to go ahead and read this one, which is a graphic novel, because I would like to turn it back into the library, and I need to go to the library tomorrow to pick up my hold, and I would like to return this when I go. So this was also a library book, so I'm hoping that I can turn these two in, plus I have another one from June still, so we just want to be returning books in a timely fashion. So I am going to read 50 pages-ish of this one, and then this one, and I will chat with you fully about this one. This one won't take very long, as I mentioned. It's a graphic novel. I get through these pretty quickly. So that's on the agenda for the rest of today. But first I have to film a video that goes up tomorrow. The whole power outage thing really threw me off. But yes, that's what's going to happen. I'll chat with you later on about this one, although maybe tomorrow we'll just play everything by ear. But you will hear my thoughts on this one, and I'll bring you along if I happen to get up to anything else.
Some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
Hello all, happy Tuesday. I have a quick reading update. I realized that as I was inputting the footage that I've filmed for this vlog, this is already a quite long vlog. So feel free to pause, grab a snack, get a drink, whatever you need to do, because it's only Tuesday and we're already very long. So quick update. As you just saw, I just started listening to the audio of Invisible Storm, a soldier's memoir of politics and PTSD. This is by Jason Kander. Jason Kander is a politician from Missouri. He's not in politics anymore because he was suffering from PTSD and pulled out of politics, even though he very well could have made like a huge name for himself. So this is what I'm listening to. This is my buzzword pick because the buzzword for July is weather related, so storm. But yes, just started listening to this. I'm not very far into it yet. I'm going to listen through chapter 2, which will put me on page 41. So that's where I'm going to stop today. And then, as you saw last night, I did read The Librarian of Auschwitz. I gave this 5 stars. Very, very good story. I loved the art, and I really appreciated how the author / illustrator included like actual historical facts at the back to kind of like further the story, because obviously with a graphic novel you're limited in the amount of pages, the amount of information you can really give. So they did include more information at the back just to kind of fully explain some of the other stuff that was going on. I actually was not familiar with Camp B2B, I'm assuming BII, lowercase b. It was the family camp where people who were in the Terezin / Theresienstadt ghetto were moved because they wanted to use them to like show that, you know, the Nazis were not killing people. So they set up this family camp, and that is where the main character in this served out her time in Auschwitz before she was moved to like a couple other camps. But yes, very much enjoyed this. There is a full-length nonfiction book, but I've heard some mixed things about it. I feel like there was like maybe some controversy about it, but I can't quite remember. So I did not have the full-length novel on my to read list, but I am glad that this one was on the shelf because I really, really enjoyed this. So if you like graphic novels about historical fiction, the Holocaust in particular, check this one out. So yes, 5 stars for that. Now I'm getting ready to head to the library. I need to drop some books off, pick up another book. I also, side note, did start Priory of the Orange Tree. I read the first 5 chapters, so I'm on like page 65. I have no idea what's going on. It seems like 4 very distinct plots right now, so I'm not sure how they're all going to come together. That's why I said I'm not really going to talk about this one until I'm a decent amount into it, because I have no idea what's going on. I haven't even read the synopsis. I've just heard that a lot of people really like this book. I was curious about it, put it on my TBR, and now I'm reading it. So we'll save any updates for that till later in the week, but I will be reading more of that today. So enough talking, because this is now 3 minutes more that I'm adding to this vlog. But yes, gonna run to the library, grab my book that came in, drop some books off, and then I will just come back, have some lunch, and do some reading. So I will chat with you later on. Hello all, happy Wednesday. So I just got back from seeing my new library space, meeting my new principal. So I'm gonna put a little bit of footage that I took of the library right here for you.
Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just treat your body and mind. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of
And I am going to do like a whole video where I talk about it and stuff, so stay tuned for that. That will be coming, but that's a quick little glimpse. So let's do a very quick reading update. I have listened to more of Invisible Storm. I am currently on chapter 6, which is page 89. There are not very many pages in this book, so hopefully I can get this done by about Saturday. I feel like that should be doable. But yes, enjoying it. If you are curious about the book, the audiobook rather is narrated by Jason Kander, and also his wife does portions where she's sharing like her thoughts on what Jason's going through, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So yes, that. I also picked this one back up. I have not touched this, or I had not touched this since July 2nd. So I need to get this done. I did read another story. So I read the one by V.E. Schwab. It was called A Royal Affair, and it's set right before the Shades of Magic series starts, but the main character is with Lila. If you're familiar with the series at all, you meet Lila in the first book. So I don't know if he's gonna show up in like the next installment or the third one or whatever, because I haven't read it yet, so I don't know if that was like a spoiler, but I did really enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars, and I feel like probably had I read the whole series, it would have been a little bit more impactful, because again, I have like some questions, but it was very well written. I still feel like it could stand decently well on its own, except that it doesn't do like a ton of world building and things like that, so that could be confusing. But yes, read that one, 4 stars. Today I'm going to read The Take Back Tango by Rebecca Roanhorse, and my goal is going to be to finish this up in the next few days, reading like a couple stories at a time. I only read one yesterday, but yes, I'd kind of forgotten about this. I need to get this finished. This is in progress, so before I start anything new, I want to get this one done. And then I did read more of The Priory of the Orange Tree. I read 5 more chapters, so I'm on chapter 11. Still not really sure how all of these point of views are going to come together, but yeah, I'm enjoying it decently well. It's engaging. I listened to the chapters 6 through 10 on audio, actually. So I think I'm going to switch between those two, and I was doing like online puzzles while I was listening. So today I'm going to read more of that. I'm going to read more of this, and then we'll just see what else I get up to. It's currently 1:34. I'm going to eat some lunch, and then we will get reading. So yeah, the big news though is that I finally got to see my new space, meet the principal rather, face to face, because we did my interview over Zoom. So haven't actually physically met her until today, but I really like her. She seems wonderful, so I'm very excited. And that's all I have for you. So I will chat with you later on. Hello everyone, happy Saturday. I haven't vlogged in a couple days, but I do have some reading updates. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Invisible Storm. I am not finished with this yet. I am currently in the middle of listening to chapter 8. I'm planning on reading through the end of that chapter, which would be page 139. So I will be finishing this up in next week's vlog, probably tomorrow. Because today is Saturday already. So I figure Sunday I should have this done, because I believe there's only 2 chapters left after that one. So enjoying this, very impactful, would definitely recommend. He is very open about his mental health struggles, his role in politics, how he was hoping that politics was going to fix whatever was wrong with him. He has a lot of feelings of being unworthy of being called a veteran because he never actually saw battle. So I'm really enjoying it. Definitely emotional. I like that both him and his wife are narrating parts of it because some of it is what she was feeling at that time. So she's narrating those parts, and then he's the main narrator of the rest of the book. But yes, this will be done in next week's vlog, so stay tuned, but definitely enjoying. And then I have also been making some progress on the Priory of the Orange Tree. So here's where I am. The green tab is the point that I'm going to read to today. I have been reading about 55-ish pages per day. It works out to about 5 chapters. The chapters are not all the same length, obviously, so it just depends. But in case you are not familiar, this is a fantasy book. You are following multiple points of view. So the points of view in here are distinguished between north, south, east, west to give you like a location, I guess, to help like cement this fantastical world in reality. There are multiple POVs for some of the directions, I guess, and I think I'm finally understanding, and I am on chapter 27 just for reference. Chapter 27. I think I'm finally starting to understand how these points of view are all going to kind of come together. There were a couple things that happened right at the end of the last section that I read, which were definitely like amping up the action. So I'm curious to see where it's going. I am enjoying it. Still not ultimately sure what I think because we are still really in the setup and it has been 302 pages. So yeah, obviously I will give you more thoughts on this in next week's vlog as well. So stay tuned if you are curious to see what I think about it. This probably won't be done in next week's vlog, but it'll be close. And that's all I've been doing, y'all. That's all the reading that I managed to do. So, yeah, I have nothing else to share. I pulled this book out just now because I'm thinking I'm gonna read this coming week, but yeah. I honestly haven't been doing much of anything except playing The Sims 4 and watching YouTube with reading Priory of the Orange Tree. So, yeah. That's all I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.
Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite.